then, sis. Welcome to
Cinched and Spiraling with
Amber St. James.
and me, LUXE the Drag Queen.
Oh,
To our very first episode. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
In quarantine. Coronavirus! Like, how y'all doing?
We'll get the real good. Y'all already? Yes, we figured. Oh, Jesus, excuse me, burp. That's what we figured. Sexy burping, because it doesn't matter. No, I'm joking.
Ooh.
So with all the success that we've been having with our last two review episodes, we decided maybe y'all want a new format. So here we are.
As in, maybe y'all want a new format, i.e. we wanted a new format, because viewing parties are for in-person processes, which won't be happening until God knows when the fuck.
It's like the moment I can step out of my door and not be given a fine for not having a mask on my face, maybe we'll reconsider a watch party then.
I can't put a mask over this lipstick. That thing would look terrible.
You know, I
just see lips smeared through the shitty little mask that I made.
I was like, imagine they do let us out, and they're like, okay, y'all can go back to everything, but you must all wear a mask. I was like, wow, that's going to really change the drag scene. Because now everybody can lip sync because you can't see their lips.
I'd like to keep it on, please.
They're like, you damn right you're going to keep it on.
But you know what? I have to, and I wanted to say this on Instagram. I really wanted to put this out there. I really wanted to give major props to Melanie Blue for the last gig that I did with her, because she was just like, she wasn't feeling well, and she knew she wasn't feeling well, so she just took to Instagram and she was like, hey, I'm going to let y'all know that I'm not feeling well, and out of respect for the community and everything, I'm not going to be attending tonight's gig. Make sure you go out and support anyway. I was like, that is a queen for the people. She knows what's going on. She knows what they're doing. You know,
what you're saying.
Yeah, this was then, before every gig under the sun got taken.
Girl, snatched.
You know what? Coronavirus snatched my wig for that gig too. That, you know, that pink little wig that I wore for the last watch party that was more like a podcast? Yeah, I was going to wear that to the rumor gig, but it got fucking snatched by the coronavirus.
Spiraling.
So,
we're just why we spiral.
did you want to talk about Drag Race still? I mean,
you know what? Yeah, let's just wrap that up. Because obviously y'all were in the middle of watching a review watch party, and then we format. But you're gonna sit here and take it. Why? Because I'm the one who's editing this, and you're still watching. So eat it.
So, what were some highlights, in your opinion, of the episode?
Honestly, okay. So during Snatch Game, the highlight to me was overwhelmingly Gigi Good. Like,
What's up, bitch?
He's the first person who immediately comes to mind for me of like how great. Yes. The second person is Jackie Cox. Her Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna was absolutely hilarious. And admittedly, I only watch Atlanta Housewives. And I haven't watched them in a couple of seasons. So I've never seen the other Housewife like franchises and shit like that. It was still hilarious to me, even though I didn't get every joke, but every joke was still hilarious. So I was like, oh girl, that's how you know she was funny. But Gigi was stunning. She was everything.
Yeah, Gigi fully deserved that win. Every time I looked at her, she made me laugh. You know, even when she's sitting there and she's just going, fucking hands, like, what about this, that was one of the best things. Honestly, that was one of the best Snatch Game performances I've seen in a while. You know, it was so unique, and it was perfectly put together.
It was very well.
While we're on,
and I think it was because she had the element of surprise, right? Like,
yes.
in the aspect of, like, you didn't see the joke coming. Like, you expected, oh, this is going to be boring. She's going to be a robot. And she's like, oh, well, if I give you a robot that's a little too human and on, like, the more, raunchy side of, human behavior, that's going to be hilarious because you're not going to see it coming.
Exactly.
It was everything.
While we're on the topic of Snatch Game, let's talk about Miss Jennifer Holliday and Miss Patricia Quinn.
Because that was the entirety of what Jennifer Holliday was in the eyes of Brennda, I guess. Girl, just
look,
don't make you Jennifer Holliday.
I'm telling you, I'm Not Going is to me one of the greatest Tony performances of all time. If you watch the video, that's like verbatim what she does. But there's so much heart and soul in the performance. And I agree with what one of the queens said later in the episode. Like, it doesn't matter if it's true, just as long as it's funny and it has a response.
Yeah.
Which is where the same could not be said for,
I was saying, I think that's where a lot of the queens, they lack the understanding of comedy. Because, obviously they understand that there's a lot at risk here, right? Like, you're on national television, the person that you're impersonating might see it, and so they're trying to be funny without being offensive, which I'm like, okay, I get that, but also, if you are funny enough, they'll understand, or at least you would assume they would understand, and even if they don't, girl, if you end up winning the crown, then...
I did want to mention some backlash that I picked up on the internet about Miss Aiden Zane's Patricia Quinn, who, if y'all didn't see, actually put up a response in return to Aiden Zane's portrayal of her. She did not like it, to say the least, and put it in the nicest words. She said it was trash.
Just as I thought.
And called Aiden Zane trash.
Trash.
And her close friends and relatives really, really, really just took Aiden to the fucking cleaners.
Girl, they said, girl, you gotta go. You was dirty trash and you need to be cleaned and picked up, girl. She said, girl, it's Wednesday, it's trash day. Come get her. Somebody come get her.
And come get her. They took her to the cleaners like I need to take that fucking sparkling sequin suit that my dog pissed on last night, just to mention for the world to know how upset I was with that.
Episode, not one, two. Episode two?
Episode two.
Episode two. Girl.
I even came up with a name for that dress. I call her Madison S. Gardot.
Well, now she's Madison Piss Square.
Madison Piss Garden.
Girl, because I don't.
The new home for water sports abroad, the Madison Piss Garden.
Okay, water sports live here. Okay, what is our no?
Water sports live here.
Be like, water sports start here. Ooh.
So if y'all didn't see, because Aiden Zane did so poorly in the Snatch Game, she did go home.
But that lip sync.
Yeah, and snow on the stage.
On the runway, Brita, bitch. That I stand that look. I love it, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's just an Alexis Michelle ripoff." It's very close. But I don't feel that it's a complete ripoff. I feel like the structure of it is different in the fact that, like, she doesn't have, like, the part in the hips and situation. And that kind of shoulder piece is very, very common for drag queens if we look at a lot of the looks that queens have done.
Yes.
So I really don't get why people are trying to come for her. Like, I do. Coming for her.
Well, and it's just like the whole thing with music, like how people are always saying, "Oh, well, this song sounds like the other." Mm-hmm. Well, honey, think about it this way. Each drag queen probably has 100 to 200 dresses in their possession. or outfits. Let me say outfits, not dresses specifically. 100 to 200 outfits in their possession. Some are bound to seem similar.
Yeah.
So I've got some designs that take from that bodysuit style.
And I love a good mermaid. I really do. I will say this though. Yes. I keep wondering, where in the fuck does Brennda get her shoes? Because they are gigantic. Like,
yes.
when she's walking down the runway, I can notice her shoes even when it's a regular, like, a nude pump or a white pump. I'm like, I see that motherfucker is huge. It looks like a 2-story brick, girl. I'm like, what, how, why is your shoe making more of an appearance than your look right now? I'm not getting it. Aiden, girl, she was a sinking ship. She was the same ship that Widow Von Du was on, girl. She was on Titanic and it was not doing good.
Speaking of sinking ships, another development that came out of the Drag Race news world, Aiden's past tweets. Now I do have to ask you, and this is what Bob and Monet asked each other. Do you believe that someone can be held responsible by tweets that they made a decade ago?
Okay. So being entirely honest, my initial reaction, just because I am Black in America, right? My initial reaction is oh, well, you must be a racist. If this is what your thoughts were, then you must still feel these things, right? And so I would need to really analyze what has their behavior changed, right? Have they still done these things? Have they made honest efforts to change their behavior and change their actions and shit like that? And then I'd be able to be okay, no, this is a different time. You're not like that anymore. And for some people they're just yeah, no, you're still a fucking racist piece of shit, right? Which, Jeffree Star, prime example. I still believe Jeffree Star is a raving racist, probably behind the scenes. Love the content that Shane Dawson makes, but I'm also girl, you really you climbed up in that asshole and you said, girl, we're here. Let's Jeffree's everything, right? Jeffree's not a racist anymore because he can cry on camera. I'm okay, but are we seeing the other things, right? Is he not still getting into drama and still in the middle of mess? Okay, right? So for me, I would want to sit down with Aiden and be okay, girl, so where the fuck was this shit coming from? And why did you feel that was this at the time, right? Because, and so many people are always oh, well, it was a different time and people aren't like that anymore. That's just how humor was. And I'm okay, yeah, but even during that time, there were still people that understood that wasn't okay. So if there were people that existed that understood it wasn't okay, then you should also recognize that wasn't okay. There was no, oh, we're just, it's mass hysteria and we're all a bunch of idiots and we have no clue this is not okay, right? No. So those are those on it. How do you feel? What say you?
I have to take it case by case. Mm-hmm. Because if the tweets or whatever they said or whatever they did is a vehement, expressive, it's very emotional, there's a lot of emotion behind it, that's not just coming out of nowhere. Yeah. Right? I think of, excuse me, I have my burp now. I think of Kevin Hart when he was going to host the Oscars. And it was bound to be one of the most legendary Oscar hostings in a while. And then someone said, "Oh, here's your homophobic tweets from 10 years ago." And it was another one of those 10 years scenarios. And it wasn't the Academy. The Academy was you know what? If you just come out with an apology, you can keep doing it. But he was you know what? It's not even worth it. And he walked away.
And he
walked away from the Oscars.
That was very telling. It was very telling. And I remember in the Black queer community, so many people were very angry, rightly so. Because at the same time, he was also on Ellen, and Ellen was trying to be oh, well, he's a nice guy, we should let him, da-da-da-da-da, and, it's fine, and da-da-da, and it was Ellen, last time I checked, you weren't Black. So I don't know why the fuck you think that you get to have a voice in the midst of this conversation when this was offense that was taken to the Black queer community. Not to say that queer folks we're not also offended by that, because it's homophobia is homophobia regardless of who it's about, right? We can still have empathy for the other parts of our community, but it's sis, we as the Black queer community have canceled him. We said no. So you get to stand up there on your platform and say, oh, no, it's all good, it's fine, he's a good guy, let him still continue. It's girl, you don't get to play date. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
You may have all this money and all this, influence, but like, girl, get your nose out of shit that ain't your business, Steph.
Our next topic, which we like to call Saving Sanity,
Oh.
where we discuss some things that we've been up to, or maybe you've been up to, that have been a saving sanity to keep us from going absolutely crazy inside of our homes here in this current situation of being in quarantine with the coronavirus. What has been your saving sanity, Miss Amber?
Oh, okay. So it's been a couple of different things. So one of them is obviously like doing this show, or doing a show with you, because every week we come up with a new format, a new topic, trying to spice it up all the time. But honestly, like, staying connected with you has been really, really helpful. Also staying connected with our other sister Brennda, and Baby, our drag family. But also, honestly, like, and I'm sure everybody's been doing it, it's like watching a lot of, well, not necessarily watching a lot of TV, because like TV just has reruns, but like trying to binge watch a lot of old shows that I've never watched or never had the time to watch. I just finished watching Black Lightning, and bitch, that shit was everything. I loved it. It was great. There was 3 episodes, not 3 episodes, what the fuck, 3 seasons. Girl, like, it was oh my God, I watched 1 episode.
Series.
Okay, girl. But it was 3 seasons. Each one had like almost 20 different episodes. So that was stunning. I did that maybe last weekend, I want to say. I don't know. The days are running together because it looks the same because I'm in my house. We're not spiraling yet. We're getting close. But doing that, also doing dance videos, that has been absolutely a lifesaver.
Yes, and they're stunning.
Definitely hopping over to my social medias, and I'll make sure that we put both of our social medias underneath our little photos here, because if y'all hadn't clocked, which I don't know how y'all could, because I don't let y'all know this, but I edit most of our videos, so I'll put those in there. But like doing dance videos has been really, really fun, and it's gotten me active because, bitch, I don't exercise, I don't do that shit. I don't do jogging, I barely walk. JK, I'm a liar. I'm a fucking liar. But like, it's been really great, and it's been a reason to like get into drag, even though it's not full drag, because if y'all obviously clocked, bitch has yet to wear a face yet. But again, also essentials are getting low, and makeup as an essential for a drag queen is getting very low. So
and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I may get to a point where I'm gonna have to stop doing a face, just with our current circumstances, because I don't know if many of you know. You may have seen in my last post about Drag Me to the Movies. I did work for a movie theater before they all closed, and I am currently in furlough. I found out the scientific term. Now I don't sound so pathetic when I say out of work.
Like, they fired my ass. Like, no, they just furloughed. They furloughed.
They furloughed me. So I am not receiving pay at this moment. I'm just living off of what I have, and doing what I can, staying healthy, financially, physically, all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, I don't have the money. I don't have the resources to go out and just like, let's go buy another $40 bottle of Smashbox Foundation.
Somebody once told me no.
So yeah, somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me, and here I am.
She said, "I'm rolled now. Deep fry me, bitch, and eat it." Oh.
So who knows? Eat it while you can.
What about you? What's been keeping you safe, sane, and inside?
So I have been devoting a lot of my time to. I've had just overstocks of fabric and things that I've held on to for a while, because I'm my usual day schedule is getting up. I have breakfast. I go to school. I go to work. I come home. I go right back to bed. It's just like, it's the cycle. So I don't really have time to jump in any personal projects. So I have a bunch of fabric on hand that I'm still working with. I have a few more dresses that I can work with. But I am also, as I said earlier, I'm running out of supplies and things. I'm getting to the point where I can't finish the dresses, because I don't have certain parts. But I have finished a couple outfits. I did debut one on March 31st, Trans Day of Visibility and Quarantinoween. And it was that monster dress with this wig that I'm reusing, and some wonderful gloves. So all that was made by me. And hopefully some more outfits coming soon. I've been doing that, and I've been also playing a lot of video games. I had the chance to replay Dying Light: The Following. That's perfect quarantine set game. And exactly. And I've also had the chance to re-dip into the world of Nintendo, because that's how I got into video gaming, was Nintendo. And that was many years ago, and I walked away from it. I was like, I'm too old for that, you know. But exactly. But I have had the chance to catch up on some of their big titles for the Switch. Super Smash Brothers, of course. I have all the characters already. It's shocking. Super Mario Odyssey. I got to. Side note. I had a whole sheet gripping moment the other day when I was playing Odyssey. So I was like, why did they call it Super Mario Odyssey? That's so ridiculous. Why don't you just call it like Super Mario? Not to sound stupid, but Super Mario World or something like that, because the game is set on a globe, you know. And then I realized, Mario is a traveler going from island to island in pursuit of his lover, which is the plot of Homer's Odyssey. I was like, oh, that's why they call it Odyssey. Okay, got it. I had that, and I just finished Luigi's Mansion 3. If you've been following my Instagram, you would see my wonderful commentary about the levels in that game and the gay level that's on level 14. Literally. And I just picked up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I'm currently delving into that one. And here's a little thing. Here, I'm a spiral for a second.
Lovely.
Okay. I'm a spiral for a second. So I come from an age of Nintendo gaming where, and I don't know if you relate to this, or maybe some viewers relate to this as well. I come from an age of Nintendo gaming where you didn't just get all the characters from the get-go. You had to jump through hoops, bounds, tiers, controller throwing, all kinds of shit like that. Do the most ridiculous shit to get a certain character. One of my greatest achievements in my childhood was getting Dry Bowser on Mario Kart Wii. You have to get a gold cup with a score higher of something in every single cup in the game on every level, 50cc, 100cc, 150, and mirror cc, in order to unlock Dry Bowser. So you can imagine my surprise and honest offense to when I opened the screen and it was like, oh, Dry Bowser. I literally had like flashbacks of just like,
you gotta work for that. You can't just have it. You gotta work for that.
You can't just have that character. Bullshit. Yeah, I've been filling my long tangent. I've been filling my time with sewing and gaming. Sewing and gaming. That doesn't sound right for some reason. Sounds dirty.
We're gonna show me game.
So I have to ask, because you mentioned you've been watching a lot of things. This is our next topic, actually. What is on your watch list for our viewers out there?
I would definitely suggest like watching some like good old like drag movies. So like doing like a Tu Wong Fu, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. What is? Oh, you could watch the Brady Bunch movie because I know RuPaul is in there a couple times. If you're really feeling down for it, you could watch a lot of like Ru's old movies. I've never watched one, so I don't know if they're good, but I hear that they're funny.
I have one to throw in that drag mix. If you've ever seen The Birdcage,
Oh,
you ever seen The Birdcage?
Yeah.
That fucking hysterical movie. Oh my God. And it's like, it's a perfect movie for just what's going on in general lately. You know, definitely watch that, The Birdcage.
What's on the watch list for Miss Luck?
Oh, where do I start? I'm always a big person for, if you have a lot of free time, definitely dig into some epic TV shows that just have these grandiose and deep plots. One that I'm currently trying to dig myself back into is one of my favorite, and I mentioned this to you on Monday, is one of my favorite seasons of American Horror Story Hotel. Because what says quarantine better than being trapped in a hotel? All right, and so I think we've come to a good time where I have to ask you the most important question of this episode. It's really been burning in the bottom of my heart and the bottom of the title of this new format. Amber, what is your cinch and spiral this week?
Well, so my cinch and spiral. So my cinch is this stunning look. Ooh. No, but honestly, my cinch has been my connection with you. I think that it's really it's kept me grounded, it's kept me connected, and I'm so fucking thankful for it. My spiral, we're gonna try and do this without throwing a whole bunch of shade or destroying my career. My spiral has been some stuff that's happened at one of my jobs. It's been less than favorable. Just, you know, emotions have been feeling very weird and very different with like the whole coronavirus and stuff like that. And I think a lot of I'm feeling a little bit detached from certain people, and it's causing a lot of distress for me, which has really caused me to spiral because there's been a lot of stuff just like in the rest of my life in terms of like what the fuck my future looks like, in terms of like, you know, college and career and corona. So like a lot of things are just spiraling, but you know, we're staying cinched and we're staying in and we're staying here, and we're getting smaller and then we're crushed.
Spiraling!
So what is your cinch and spiral, sister? What are we cinching and spiraling?
So my cinch for this week has really been connecting with you, and staying up with this and being able to be in drag and do that regularly, and, you know, coming to an understanding of this situation. But definitely my spiral, and you know what, if you went out on a limb and and skirted the edge of ruining careers, I guess I'll do the same by saying this wonderful piece of advice. This is not you, Zach. Please don't think it's you. Or Josh. No, not these people. Not these people. I'm not.
Spiraling! Whose name I did?
If people take the time to send you a message, you respond. No, seriously. I'm a firm believer in checking in on everyone. I really have to thank my friends Zach and Josh and my parents for just kind of helping breathe through this whole process. You know, but really, y'all, take a moment. It only takes a couple seconds to send a message to someone that you maybe don't talk to a lot, that you maybe don't know, because believe me, a little connection goes a long way.
On that note, we thank y'all for watching this third new format.
If you guys liked what we're doing today, if you like what we're calling Cinched and Spiraling with Amber St. James and LUXE the Drag Queen, let us know so that we can do more episodes and focus on more what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to talk about.
We have changed formats. We're still going to have Brennda's breakdown.
Yes.
But this time, Brennda can break down whatever the fuck she wants. But also still talking about the episode, because I think Brennda does a very good job on very clearly and very quickly talking about the episode.
Yes.
Where it takes us fucking 3 and 4 hours to record talking about the episode. Brennda does about 10 minutes. So until the next one,
Stay cinched.
And stay